This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every bet until you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every bet until you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis, with PlayerProps.ai. This is what we're looking at for Monday, February 2nd. We are now less than a week away from Super Bowl Sunday. If you have not checked out our Super Bowl show where we go over a ton of things, not just a ton of things, we literally go over every single possible NFL player prop and team bet in that show. If you haven't watched that and locked it in, I mean, it may be too late at this point, who knows? All the lines may have changed from everybody else that watches the videos as soon as they drop, but it's still worth checking it out regardless. This morning, just a few minutes ago, I just recorded the Super Bowl Squares selection show. So if you are one of our premium VIP members who entered the pool, either one of our pools we have for that video just dropped as well. So if you want to see what your numbers are, your square is for Super Bowl Sunday, it is in that video. There are not that many games today, so I was debating whether I wanted to do NBA or NHL on this show because NBA only has 4 games, but I did a quick peek of the spreads and I noticed that none of them are blowout potential because if most of them were, we probably would just went to NHL, which there's a lot of game for it anyway. But there are 4 games. There is 0 blowout potential based on the current spreads, so we're going to try to find something we like. Now, there's a few things that we need to go over before you start plugging away and teaching you how to use the app again. The first part is the mentality. I keep mentioning this on every show for the last 2 or 3 weeks. When you place a bet, you have to know that you did everything possible to make sure that that bet checked all the boxes, that you were extremely comfortable with that bet, and you are confident that that bet has a very solid chance of hitting. When you're betting blindly or just picking things and not following the guidelines or direction or not even looking or considering the checklist, and you're worried as soon as you click the bet that the bet's not going to hit, you probably shouldn't be betting. You probably shouldn't be locking that in for sure, but you may not need to be betting right now in the first place, because if you get to a point where you're just betting to bet, that's how you light your money on fire. That's how you pay off the sportsbooks, yachts, and their mansions and all that stuff. Another thing that's very important in the mentality side of things that we mentioned is, it's kind of on the same subject, but your bet is a winner until it's not. And that's how you need to treat every single thing you bet on. It is a winner until it is not a winner. So when you do something, whether it's NBA, NHL, or anything under the sun, that you've done all the due diligence, you've checked all the boxes, this has a extremely high chance of hitting based on everything we've taught you over the past 2 years. You lock it in, that bet is a winning bet until it is officially not a winning bet. And the reason I bring that up is because I see a handful of people inside the Discord, outside the Discord, what we call is tilting. So if you're sweating, I wouldn't say sweating because sweating's just betting in general, but if you're like freaking out about your bet and your bet is a full game bet, like player A to get over 15 points. So it's a full game. He has the entire game of 4 quarters to get over 15 points. And in the second quarter, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think this is going to hit. Then you are not allowing yourself to enjoy the fun part about sports betting. So if you are betting on sports and you're not allowing yourself to enjoy the fun part, which is the sweating of the bets, which is you watching the game, enjoying the game, and watching your guy get all these opportunities to potentially hit the line or avoid the line if you're looking at it under. If you're not having fun, then why are you still doing this? This is a fun hobby. This has to be treated as a fun hobby. Do not sweat things until the game is over with, or until if you go under, till the player hits their line or exceeds their line or whatever it may be. But you have to have fun doing this, or you are going to have, it's not going to get better for you. If you're not having fun doing this, it's not going to get better. It's not just going to randomly get better. You're not going to hit 100 bets in a row. And even if you hit 100 bets in a row, you're probably still going to have the same mindset regardless. So just focus on enjoying sports betting. Focus on not freaking out about something that is maybe slightly off track of hitting through a full game in the second quarter. We've seen plenty of things. We had a bet last week. I think it was Kaishan George. He was like 11 away from hitting his line or something crazy. A pretty decent margin in the fourth quarter. And then he goes off and hits his line in the fourth quarter. Everything is a winner until it's not. That is what your mindset should be. If there's never a YouTube show ever again, you have all of the YouTube shows you need to use the app correctly. Now, if I add a new feature that changes how something looks and works on the site, then of course I'm going to do a new video kind of explaining that. Like we had a new video explaining the ban list. We have a video explaining like the favorites and all these other things, all the features, all the intricacies here. And we're constantly adding new stuff to make it better, to make it more user-friendly, whatever it may be. That's the point I'm trying to make. You don't need this show to be successful. You just need to absorb the information from all the previous shows to be successful. This show is not created to give you something to bet on every single day. That's a part of the show, but the purpose of the show is the educational side. So if everything goes on one ear and out the other, and you're not actually like, okay, so Travis, you pull up the app yourself. Travis did this, he said to do this, he looked at this, he referenced the checklist, If you're not actually applying the knowledge, then, and you're not having success, then you already know your answer. Why am I not being successful? Oh, that's because I'm not listening to what he's telling me. Anywho, I just want to get through that stuff. Let's find something for NBA. So we're on points. We're going to remove all the babies. Just doing a quick scan here. So I notice a lot of orange and red, and I notice a lot of sportsbooks favoring the under. So he's got orange, red, sportsbooks favor the under. Red, orange. Sportsbooks don't favor the under, but I don't really like that red there. We'll look at that in a second. Sportsbooks favor the under, even though he's got green, orange, red, and then it just becomes not enough difference. So let's look at the unders here real quick. Green, orange. Sportsbooks favor the under. This green is kind of concerning for an underplay. Eason, not green. Somewhat, almost a similar difference. Green, gonna avoid. Not enough difference here. Green. Okay. So it looks like there's one over and one under we can look at here. So the under will be Tari Eason. Let's see. Starting in the small forward spot, he's played only 5 of the team's last 10 games. He averages 26 minutes. 26, 27 minutes. Kevin Durant is ruled out. So we are not touching this under. This is a huge, what is the check for injury? Is it check 5, check 6? One of the checks to the checklist, to talk about are there any injury concerns? The biggest name on this entire team not playing, and he's also played in the team's last 10 games. So this is the first game he's not playing, which is why Tyree Easton's going to get the starting nod. This is a no touchy. No touchy. So now let's look at the over for Joel. So Clippers have been pretty solid on defending centers scoring points. But in the last 2 weeks, the Clippers have been a lot more sloppy. So this number here is 97th. This is 3 away from being green, because green is 100 to 150. This man, let's see here, 131, 27, 24, 22, 19. Okay, so he's played pretty consistently. I was trying to see if there's any gap in his time. He's hit this in 7 out of the last 7 games. Okay, he's averaging the starter minutes. James Harden questionable. So this is a very close game. The spread is minus 2.5. I would want James Harden to play so it keeps it close and not a blowout, because if James Harden doesn't play, I don't think it'll be a blowout. Let me look at the team stuff for this game real quick. Okay, so the Clippers right now are minus 130, which means the sportsbooks give them a 56.52% implied chance. Our AI is saying that should actually be a little bit higher, about 7% higher at 63%. And that's even with James Harden questionable. I think our next thing we need to check real quick is typically when you get lines that are high, like 28.5, I don't think we've touched a line close to this in the last in this season, or maybe ever. That's a very, very high line. But this is also the current scoring threat for the team. I mean, Maxi's a pretty good scoring threat as well, but it's pretty much these two guys, and he's probable to play. So it's not, if he was questionable, it'd be an issue, but probable means he's got like a 75-80% chance of playing, so I'm not worried about that. And of course, if he doesn't play, then your bet doesn't lose. It just gets voided. But I don't think there's any injury concerns. I know they have like the load management and stuff like that. I know he just played 39 minutes here, but this wasn't a back-to-back. This was, what's today, Monday, so this was Saturday's game. The AI projection was 33.2, and he got 40. Okay, so let's look and see if we can find a better line for him real quick. Nope, Fanatics has him at 1 point higher. Everybody else has him at 28.5. The best payout would be Hard Rock. If you're going over, it seems like every single book, nobody favors the under. Everybody favors the over on that. On 28.5. Man, that's such a high line. It's a very high line. But the intriguing part is that the last 2 weeks of games, the Clippers have allowed a decent chunk of points to centers. Now, keep in mind that Joel Embiid is probably one of the best scoring centers in the league, which is why he's probably the only center this week you're going to see with 28.5 points. Well, I mean, the only person probably to have a consistent line like that would be Jokic, but I think he's actually back from injury. But he's the only other center that would like have a line that high. Like he is a legit scoring threat. So we're focusing a little. I got people all the time asking me, like, when you see the full season and you see the recency thing, which one do you treat more? And we consider both of them, but you also have to consider the fact that Joel Embiid is probably the second best scoring center in the top 5 at least out of every team in the NBA. And so even with this red for the season, Zubac, the Clippers center, in terms of like if he was the one defending the center on scoring points, he's not versing the most lethal centers in the league every single day in terms of point scoring centers. So that's kind of something else I take note is like he wasn't like the Clippers aren't really versing somebody like Joel Embiid trying to score from the center position. And they're in the last 2 weeks, they're not versing Joel Embiid, but they're versing people who are scoring a lot more points on them. Again, this is 3 away from being green. All the sportsbooks favor this. He's hit this in 7 out of the last 7. We can't find a line lower, so we're going to go with whatever the best odds are. Man, that's a pretty hefty line, but I think he can do it. Just had a monster 40-point game, 37, 29, 38. Like he's getting into the 30s so consistently. Like he barely covered here at 29, but he still covered. That was only with 29 minutes played. He scores a point per minute or more. So as long as he's getting 29, 30 minutes, we can expect him to be able to do that, especially with a team that's been giving up a lot of points to the centers over the last 2 weeks. So this, a little concerning, but then again, are they versing people of Joel Embiid's scoring talent? No. So that's why I favor the recency side of it. But I think that's what we're going to be rolling with for this one. And then I know Sadiq Bey's been crushing it as well. But again, you have to factor in multiple things. I don't like the fact that Charlotte's been a lot better on locking down small forwards and scoring in the last 2 weeks. So they're stronger recently, and also the sportsbook favor the under. So yeah, just things that I'm not a huge fan of. So that's why we're not looking at that one. But ladies and gents, that is what we're targeting here. And as I've been mentioning a trillion times, and I can't stress it enough, if you aren't taking what you're learning and pulling up the app and holding it into the phone in your hand and having the app pulled up and copying the exact same process that I've been teaching you for 2 straight years, you're not going to be a successful bettor. If you're just seeing, what is this person betting? Or what is that person betting? Or come on, somebody feed me picks. Then you should stop betting. Just stop betting at that point. You should not solely rely on what everyone else is doing. Focus on getting better at understanding how you can do it. Stop relying on everybody else. This app works when you follow all the guidelines. The only way this app will not work in reducing your losses is if you don't use it as designed, which is what I'm teaching you, what the guidelines teach you. If you don't go through the checklist, you just need, you can't even say oh, I'm not good with numbers or there's too much information here. You just have to try. If you try, you will succeed. If you try and don't quit, in the middle of it, you're going to succeed. As long as you never stop trying and you never stop asking questions in the Discord, you're going to succeed. So if you aren't having success, then there's some guideline or part of the checklist or something that's not connecting with you. If you're not in the Discord, chances are you're lighting your money on fire. There's a high likelihood, because a lot of people think they understand, oh, I'm just going to do this and this, or this person says this, so I'm going to lock this in. Oh, hey, it didn't work out for me. There's a reason why it didn't work out for you, because you're not listening to the words coming out of my mouth. If you follow the guidelines, you will have success. If you're like, can you please recap the guidelines? There's a channel in Discord that is just permanently there. Nobody else can type in it and just goes over the guidelines. They're there. Ask questions in Discord, have success. Success equals effort. Effort equals success. Just try and you will succeed. Just do not quit. Ask questions. Learn the guidelines. It's that easy. We'll see you guys in Discord.